After a goal-creating tackle and goal-saving block against Fernerbahcher, summer signing Manuel Ugarte drew praise from Manchester United fans. This recent feature in United Review, the official matchday program, looked at the journey that made the Uruguayan a midfielder who fights for every ball. A versatile youngster accustomed to playing various roles in the youth ranks of Montevideo club Fénix, Ugarte initially raised eyebrows and broke records in Uruguay when he was handed his senior debut in a 4-1 win over Danubio aged just 15, making him the country's youngest top-flight debutant of the 21st century. Though he was carefully dipped back into action over the coming campaigns, it was under the management of former La Celeste international Juan Ramon Carrasco that Ugarte began hastily refining his game as an archetypal, ball-winning midfielder. Physically, he was superb and was always excellent at recovering possession, Carrasco said. "I gave him the freedom to play centrally so he could learn how to take ownership of that area." Competition for places at club and international level meant that Manuel had to keep improving in order to keep racking up senior minutes. Nevertheless, he always retained a sense of collective fortunes when he missed the cut for Uruguay's squad for the 2019 Under-20s World Cup in Poland. He traveled separately to the airport to wish his teammates well on their trip. That character hastened his installation as Fénix captain and, in late 2020, having caught the eye in the Copa Sudamericana and as Fénix captain, the 19-year-old was picked up by Famalicão, a mid-table side in Portugal's Primeira Liga. Famalicão must have a superb scouting network, says Portuguese football writer Tom Kundert, because this is what they do. They pick up really talented, quite unknown players and develop them very well. It's quite hard to shine there because they don't have European football. So the normal career path for those who join them is to do as well as possible for Famalicão and then be bought by one of the bigger clubs in Portugal. That's exactly what Ugarte did. He did very well at Famalicão. Even though he was very young, straight away he looked a really good player. He was very raw, his style of play was maybe a little bit agricultural at times. He's a very aggressive player, but at Famalicão, he really refined his game very quickly and became an all-action midfielder. It was at this stage that Ugarte's progress went into overdrive. Just 8 months after arriving in Portugal, he was snapped up by Sporting Lisbon, who were resurgent under the new management of Ruben Amorim, and the midfielder picked up the first winner's medal of his career within 6 months, lifting the Portuguese League Cup. While initially competing for involvement with João Palhinha and Matheus Nunes, Manuel soon began to impose himself on Amorim's setup. "The thing which has really impressed me is that he's a really good learner," says Kundert. "It's been very visible in his career so far. He was an interesting player to start with, but then he just got better and better while he was at Famalicão. Then Sporting. He was only at both clubs for a short space of time, but really improved so much at each. He's someone who really works hard on his game and always tries to get better. He really became a complete number 6 at Sporting. He's not going to be playing the same kind of passes as Bruno Fernandes, but he'll win the ball a lot and give really good protection in front of the defense. He is good technically, a good passer, but he keeps it simple, keeps the ball rolling. He's one of those players who makes those around him better, rather than really standing out himself. He made himself really popular straight away at Sporting because he was a 100% player from day one. It's a cliché, but the South American defensive players look like they're willing to die on the field for their team, and he's absolutely that sort of player. He'll give everything in every game." That commitment to the cause soon prompted the next step in Manuel's career, as perennial Ligue 1 winners PSG came calling in the summer of 2023. Although he was a star turn in the opening months of the campaign, so total was the dominance of Luis Enrique's team that the Spaniards soon decided that his side didn't need a ferocious, ball-winning presence in central midfield. The PSG ended the campaign with a domestic treble, and, even though he had started fewer games as the season progressed, Ugarte still featured towards the very top of charts for ball recoveries and tackles across Europe's top 5 leagues during his solitary season in France.